Okay, so this will be my first time doing something like this, and it could be weird, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So what I usually do is, well, now I'm using Turbo Warp because it makes the projects easier, but for you, I would get your vectors ready first. So like this. I'm gonna use an old idea I had for this tutorial. So, it should be easy. I guess we should start with, the vectors. So you can use any train vector you want, I guess, for this, as long as they have, the animations for their, for the vector, because that's going to be important. Like this. And for this one, I'm going to use James, Percy, and Thomas. At least for this animation, that should work. And then all you have to really do is follow what I do if you want to learn how to do this and make your own thing. I get most of my Thomas vectors from this place. So if you if you need any place to go, I'd go here. I'll put the link in the description of this video. So I'm going to need that. I'm going to need this. And then once you have the 2D animations for, going in one direction like how he does, you're going to need their first person ones from this guy. Like this. Because that will be important for like the first person perspectives. Or second person? Third person. It'll be important for the future, so you can just take the entire thing, I guess. You probably need it. And I'll probably do multiple parts of this, because I don't think I could finish it all in one day, unless I rushed it, and I don't want it to be rushed, so I'll just take it slow. And the last this should work. And I'll take Thomas's. We need his, and that should be it. And then from here, you're going to need a background for your, for the trains to move on, or your characters, I guess. It doesn't necessarily have to be a train, but for this it will. So for that, I usually go to other people's projects that already made background vectors, or backgrounds for easy use. I usually go to this person. And for this, I'll just use something simple. I think I'll just do what I did for the first episode. And I'll use these background vectors. So you really just need something that looks like this. It doesn't have to be from this specific project, but it would, if you're like looking for something easy, then you could come here. And then you just put that there. And most of these. This looks useful. And this is how I did the overhead perspective with Gordon in that in episode 1. I think I changed this. No, I used this, but I might change the background. We're not going to do that for this though, because I want to go over something else. And usually, how I did the 2D perspectives, I went to this person's project, and then I copied what they did, and I put it in my own sort of perspective. This should work for it. So what you want to do, hide this. And wait for my computer to stop lagging so I can continue. Not important. Not important. Not important. That's what we need. So delete everything inside, and then you can just take it with you. Go back to this project, and you can title it whatever you want, but I'll title this that. And I guess, well, first you should probably start somewhere. I guess for this animation we can start with the 2D or 3D, but you're gonna want to delete everything so that your thing's clear, like this. Well, you know what I should do? That'll make the, I guess the times when I'm quiet better. I've seen other type commentary channels do that, so that should make that less awkward. Okay, so after you got rid of everything, you're gonna want to change the color palette to whatever makes your background look good. So for this, I would do it sort of like this. Since the ground is yellow, you can just take it and then paste it here so that it matches the tracks on the 2D perspective. I think this is more of a 3D perspective, so I'm going to start calling it that. And then layers are going to be important too, but we'll get to that eventually. I think I'll move it to turbo warp so it stops lagging. So I added in all of the sprites and vectors you'll need for it. So you can just do the same way, like this. And if the video were to cut out, it's because the thing was lagging, so I paused it, so it stopped lagging. From your perspective. But that's not really important. Okay, so from here, just delete basically everything, and then I would just tell them all to hide. So I moved it to turbo warp, that way it wouldn't lag anymore. But like I was saying, just delete everything in their sprites or vectors, and then just tell them to hide for now. We'll start off with the 2D perspective. That way it'll be easier for you to understand. So just well, first, because sometimes I need the thing to be bigger, so what I'll do is make this, and it's something that makes your images, that it'll make this image as big as you want. So once you've made the little circle thing, and then take the image you want, whatever custom it's named, and then you can do this, and as you can see, you can't make it over 500, it will get smaller, but you can if you do it like this. Then you can make the image as big as you want and make whatever sort of perspective shot you want. But for this, I'll just go back to being 100, because that should be enough. And I think I'll use, I will use this one, because it looks, yeah, we'll just start out with this from right here. So you can tell it, switch the custom to Wellsworth 3 if you're, following along. Then take that, you can tell it to go to 0, -52. That way it will stay. And usually I'll do this so that I don't have to deal with it interacting or messing up the layers of the animation. This way, if he's showing and this were to get on top, it'll instantly go to the background. So for the rest of this, should be pretty simple. What you can do, or for this, you'll need to go to the variables, and then you'll need to name one James's X variable. This is so that when the train moves, it looks more realistic and like actual train would move. Because if you don't, it'll look blocky. The animation will look choppy, I guess. And you don't technically need one for all of them, but it makes it easier so that in case they're both in the same scene, you don't like mess it up and then one goes backwards while the other one goes forward. So you can, I guess they don't all need the one-click hide. For this one, you can tell it to one-click show. And then for the characters, you usually don't need to do the circle thing because they're usually big enough as they are. I think I'll make him 75. Then he will go here. And for this, you'll want to go to motion. And for the most part, you'll want to just set rotation left dash right unless they're moving up a hill or something. And then I'll have him point in direction -9. So that he's facing this way, since that's how we're going to do the chasing. And I think eventually I'll find a background that's that matches the setting of the thumbnail, because it's daytime right now. It's supposed to be the middle of the night. So when I first made when I first started thinking about Thomas and the Corrupted Railroad, there was supposed to be a part where James, I can't really get into it because it would be a spoiler, but originally James and Percy were going to, I don't know where they were going to meet up, but they were supposed to be together for it. They weren't supposed to split up like they are now. So just tell James so that this looks good. You can tell him to go to -346 and -57 for the Y. And then what you'll want to do is take out his set variable, get the repeat variable, and take a motion X. And the reason you'll want to do this, because if it looks better when he's animated. Like, if you just have a move like this, that was not supposed to happen. Oh, -57. That was my bad. So if you have a move like this, it'll look less realistic. But if you do it like this, and you put that there, and then you put this here, it'll look better when animated. But for like, since James is pulling into the station, you'll want him to like slow down. And the way to do that is I'll set the repeat to less than it was before, and then you can just change the number to something smaller. And once you do it for one engine, you don't actually need to you can reuse the same code. I'll change this to 10, and then he can be 5. But before we do that, I want to show you how to make it look. How I got the wheels that animate. It's not that hard. I'll usually use 0.05 unless it's like with episode 4 where Edward was having a hard time leaving. So what you can do is you can have it switch costume to left. Then, actually, I think this is how I do it. Yeah, I'm going next costume. And then eight. 7 should work. And then you can just swap this. I would do it like that for the next costume, so that it appears to be moving more quickly. Then take this, and it looks like he's moving on his own. So what I will do is, we can do this. And you might have to test it a few times to make sure it doesn't go too far. See, now it looks like he pulled into the station pretty naturally. And then you can do the exact same thing for Percy's code. just take it, put it into your backpack, go straight to here, and go here. And technically, I wonder if this will work. I'm gonna attempt to see if it'll work, and if not, we can just change it. No, he's backwards. No, he's not. He's forward. You can go here. That is... I didn't even know that was going to be a problem. But you can just ignore it, or you can do what I'm doing, and I'm going to copy it, delete it, put that here. And then if you wanted it to be back, all you would really have to do is turn it into a different sprite so it doesn't overlap or make the engine look weird. So like this, then you could tell it. So go one click, go to front, control, and then forever. That way, and make sure you tell it where to go to so it doesn't bother you later. Select the show. This way, he'll be in the front, and he won't ever mess with this guy. I gotta tell him to go to his own thing, like this, and then tell him to go to -102. And let's see if this works. It should. -102. I do that twice already. Okay, now let's try it. Where you go? This one should be up. Oh, I didn't see that. And then they can both come in at the exact same time. In fact, I should be able to do the same thing with their moving costumes. Oh yeah, because their names are all the same, so it should work. And that is how you do that. But if you wanted to like change it so it doesn't look so the exact same, you could do something like this. That way it looks like they both came in at different times. And then if you're on Turbo Warp, you should save it, because it doesn't save automatically. And then just put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it. And then I'll keep that there. Then from here, what I'll use, well, I guess I can show you the from here, I guess I can show you how I do the pibby thing with the trains. It's pretty simple. All you really need to do is press this button and then delete this, delete this, delete this, and then delete that, and then take this, and you can take this and make it bigger. But ever since episode 3, I learned that you can add a glow effect to make it look cooler. So I should have that somewhere in here. When I was working on Sonic multiversal corruption. I had a bunch of other sprites that I should probably delete these so that it's easier, but this will do. And you just take. Oh wait, I should probably. So, I can. I guess I should share this. That way, you guys can have the same vectors if you want to use it. And then I'll just link this when I'm done with it in the end of the video. And then what I'll do is I'll line up the glow with the engine's eye. That way it looks a bit more realistic and like it's an actual virus from the show that was canceled. It's unfortunate. I was looking forward to it, but that's not important right now. So I guess I can teach you how I do the glitch effect on the trains. So what I would do is I would leave one of them alone, and then I wouldn't edit it at all, and then for the rest of them you can just convert it to bitmap from vector so that this will be easier. And then I would take it, and you can pick any part of the train that you want, or character, because this could work for, this also works for any character if you wanted to make a chase scene with it, for the Learning with Pibby show, but I find it works best with these ones. And then you just do that for each and all of their costumes. As long as you don't go too far with it. I would only edit out a little bit, because if you take it too far it might look bad. Also, this reminds me of there was an old Thomas Flash game I used to play when I was a kid, and you would have to like put the trains back together, and doing this sort of reminds me of it. I can't remember what it was called though. I think most of the stuff that I do is pretty easy. I just think that since most of the people on Scratch are kids, they probably just don't really know what they're doing, because they're just starting out. But they should get there eventually, since it took me a while to. Then if you just do that with this one, then if you want, you can either edit out the 8th one, or you can leave it alone. I think I'm going to see what it looks like, and then I'll judge that for myself. That is too big. I'd recommend just setting the size to 75. You can do it here, but you'll probably forget to change it back, and then later on it'll get on your nerves. So if you just do it here, it'll be like that permanently. Then that's not what I wanted to do. Oh yeah, and train the perspectives for your thing is going to be important, because obviously this isn't actually a part of it. This one's at the outermost layer, which is important, because if he was here, it would look weird. So make sure you just watch that. And then for like, if something like this were to happen, all you really need to do is click on that, and that'll look more like how a trained animation is supposed to look. Or any animation, I would just be careful with it. Now we can test out Thomas's. I'll just take this. And that is how you get the glitch effect for the trains on the, I wonder, well, if they had like eyes on their faces, I guess you could also add a glow effect to it. But I don't have that, so we won't be doing that. So for now, we'll just tell Thomas to hide, because I want to show you a different perspective, which is what I've been calling what I'm going to call a 3D perspective. What you want to do is have everything hide, but you want to make it so that it doesn't hide permanently, because it has to be able to come back. So what you can do is go into whichever engine you choose, or whoever will progress the story, or whatever story you're trying to tell, and then have it wait a few seconds. Then you can, I guess that'll be at the end though. And then what you can do is you can broadcast. Okay, so from here, you just need something that will remind you, because it'll be important in the future. So I would name it something that you'll remember, or at least recognize if you ever need to come back to it. I'm gonna name it Percy James 3D. I don't actually know if this is a 3D perspective or not, but I would assume so. And then all you need to do is go to the when I receive message, Percy James 3D perspective, and then just tell it to hide. That way you can continue the animation without problems, and it will forever come back. Put a show block so that this thing actually shows up. And then that will allow you to continue animating with ease, so that you're not messing up your previous animation, or it doesn't get in the way or anything. But it also still shows up when you start it. And then from here is when this becomes important. You're going to want it to show rather than hide. And then I guess I'll show you how I do these type of So just like with the other one, you're going to want this to go to the back forever, so that it doesn't interfere with the other vectors. And you're going to want this one to show up. Well, It'll probably look better with the background. So, for the sake of now, we can just use this backdrop. And then convert the bitmap, because I don't know why it doesn't work. And then that'll be it for now. Well, not the video's not done, but I'll change the background in nighttime later on. Probably in the next video if I continue this, which I probably will, because it's fine. And then tell him to show, and tell him to go to front. You don't have to do the go to front thing, but it's probably for the best since it might interfere with something later. Then for this, I would just set it to however big the tracks are. So $275 should be good. I think that looks 225. I think 225 works for this. And then since James was over here during the animation, I would to make it seem more accurate, I would make sure that like if James was actually on the right during the 2D animation, you should have him on the right during the 3D perspective, so that it looks more accurate. I guess since James isn't really supposed to be happy, you'll have to change that too. So we'll do something like this. Where did I put... That's more accurate, since technically for this atmosphere, or in the context of this story, he's not exactly going to be happy. So, and then for like the train's emotions, you can just do something like this to make it look like they're upset, since they really only have their faces to go off of. You can't really show hand gestures or anything. And then just do this so it doesn't interfere with anything. Go back. And then you should look moderately upset. Since in this part of the story, it would be after Thomas got corrupted, so, you know, he'd be upset, because I would assume he cares about his friends. Yeah, it looks nice. Originally, he was gonna fight Corrupted Word Girl from that one shot. Cause I had, while I was making this story, I had started watching it, and I thought it was fine. But I couldn't find any vectors, so I scrapped that idea. At least of the character. And I think I replaced it with... Well... Yeah, it's definitely not gonna happen anymore, since Natford, I scrapped the Natford idea when originally Edward, Gordon, Percy, and there's one more. Yeah, and James, they were all going to meet at Natford, and then they were going to fight Thomas in an F&F type battle, but I decided to scrap it because I figured it would... figured that it would mess up the video's retention time. Alright, so next, you just do the exact same thing with Percy's third person. And what I would recommend, if you want like a specific facial expression, you can go to other people's projects. They have, specifically from Solar Fallout, they have a lot of cool expressions. So just look up a Solar Fallout project and you should be able to find something that works. I think to make it look a little different, I will have him just be like this. So you can just, when I actually post this full thing, it'll be more like, an unused version of episode. It was supposed to be probably the last episode, since originally the story was a lot shorter, but later, it's longer now. Yeah, that looks nice. I would recommend switching the costume to the front. Set his size to 200 so it doesn't get messed up later. And then just tell him to go to where he is now. Now, from here, I'm gonna test it. Yep. That is how you at least start it. There's only 10 more minutes left. So I think what I will do to finish this video is I'll teach. It's not that hard. I would go to, and I'll leave most of the things, if I can remember them, in the description. Or you can just timestamp it and look for it yourself, or ask me and I'll link it to you. What am I looking for? Yeah. So I'll just... You're also free to, if you want, you can use things from my projects and your own. I don't have, because I used a lot of other people's stuff to make these episodes. I don't know if people really know that. I usually leave their links in the description. Like this. What I'll use for the dialogue, or at least for the text in Thomas and the Corrupted Railroad, is this. And you can just go inside the project and take it. I'm going to export it. And then I'm going to upload it to this project. And then I'll just delete this because it's not important. And usually, oh yeah, for the text, for whatever reason, will it doesn't want you to use capitalized letters, and you have to add the extra thing so it doesn't get cut off. Man, let me see if it should be in here. The chromatics are from the Friday Night Funkin' Railway mod. That's how I got the text things to work. What text was that? I guess I should find one. And then from here, you can just add whatever dialogue you want for your scene. I'll just add this. I'll try and make it quick so it's not like the longest thing ever. And then I'll find, whoops. I'll find a chromatic for James, or for now I'll just add a placeholder. Wait. Make sure you change the message so that it shows up. I'll make it 2 seconds. Oh yeah, if it's too long, it'll cut off. So that's why in my animations, it's not. That's why there's a lot of dialogue in my stories. There's probably a way to fix it, but I don't know how. Let's see if that makes it better. And don't capitalize the names, or that will happen. And I think this is a good stopping point for the first video of this series. And we can continue probably, I'll probably continue this in like September maybe. But I'll do it when I have some more free time. But so far, this is what the animation should look like if you were trying to copy what I was doing, or if you were making your own animation that's separate from this. It should at least be able to do, it should look like this one, or your own one. Thanks for watching if you did, and that'll be all.